Oh, hi. Have you ever wondered why sometimes your coffee tastes bitter, sour, or it just doesn't taste right at all? If it is a problem that you're facing at the moment, one of the reasons might be you're setting the grinder wrongly. So today I'm going to show you how I normally set up the grinder at my home using the Breville grinder so that I can get the best flavor out of the espresso. Are you ready? Let's get started. Before learning how to set the grinder, let's have a look how a good espresso should look like during the extraction. This espresso runs too fast. You can see it's watery and it often will make the coffee taste sour and acidic. On the other hand, this is too slow. The coffee extracts too slowly that will make the coffee taste bitter. Now this is just about right. It starts with a couple drops first and it's running smoothly. You can see the nice even stream espresso that could bring the best flavor out of the coffee. Now if you ask me what's the key to a perfect cup of espresso? Well, the answer would be fresh beans. Yes, I normally buy beans from local cafes. I found that they are more fresher than the ones sold in the supermarket. Fresh, but not too fresh too, because coffee needs times to degas, which means that the best time to have the coffee is within 2 weeks after the roasting date. So things that you should ask your barista when you buy the coffee is the roasting date and the coffee recipe. My recipe is 21 grams in, 40 grams out, and within 28 to 30 seconds. So let's have a look at my coffee here. It's 18 grams, which is less than the recipe amount. And let's see how it looks like. The espresso is running too fast. It has more than 30 ml in each of the cups, and it tastes really sour and almost undrinkable. You can see the color of the coffee crema is a bit pale and light. So what's normally happening in here is because the grinder is way too coarse. So what would you do if this is happening to you? So when the espresso runs too fast or it tastes sour and acidic, it's often caused by the grinder is too coarse. To fix it, just change it a little bit to fine, and what will normally happen after that is the quantity of coffee will decrease and the espresso will run slower. Now because my coffee is way too coarse, then I change it down by 3 scale to finer, and I also increase the quantity because when we change it to finer, the quantity will decrease, and that's why I increased a little bit so it could meet the recipe, which is 21 grams. And see, it's going up now about 19 grams and it's running more slower than the first one, but I can tell that it's still way too fast, but it's better than the first one. So because I'm still quite unhappy with the taste, which is quite sour, I changed it to fine a little bit by 2 scale and increase the quantity so it could meet the recipe, which is 21 grams. But now it's going up to 20 grams, which is closer to the recipe. And let's see how it looks like. We can see that the espresso is running more slower than the first and the second one, and it's definitely quite a perfect shot of espresso. Let's see how it tastes. So after tasting the espresso, I'm still not that happy with the taste because I can still taste the sourness in it. So I decided to change the grinder a little bit to fine just by a fraction and increase the quantity. So now it's 21 grams, which is perfect. It's according to the recipe. So let's have a look how the espresso looks like. It starts with a couple drop of espresso first, followed by a nice even stream. And I'm so happy that it tastes really nice. I can taste the rich chocolate flavor. And yeah, it tastes so much better than the previous ones. Now this is called overextraction. You can see the espresso is running way too slow. The color is very dark and the taste is so bitter. If this happens to you, there are two things that could cause this to happen. The first one is you put too much pressure when you temp the coffee. But even though you just temp the coffee lightly and it still tastes bitter or it's still running too slowly, then try to change the grinder a little bit to coarse just by a fraction and see how it goes. Quite often the time when you change the grinder to coarse, it will also increase the quantity. So if the quantity is way too much, you can reduce the quantity to the desired quantity, and hopefully it could work and help you to get the best taste out of the coffee.